How's everybody doing? Well, first of all, thank you so much for those of you who are still donating. I'm going to do a special video for those of you who are donating because you guys are so great. Thank you for keep that. We are doing a play. The theater season begins next month, so the monies that are being donated now is going to come in handy. I've already wrote 2 new plays dealing with the DACA and the Dreamers and Donald Trump trying to get rid of and rip families apart and sending and deporting people. I wrote 2 plays that addresses these issues, and if you are in New York, you must come and see it. We started on the 19th of February at Borough of Manhattan Community College. And as you know, I go to Columbia as well. So I'm going to do a show there at Columbia University. Those details I'm still trying to iron out, depending on how much money I need to secure the space. That's where you come in. And of course, if you're in New York, I want you to see it because I want to give you a special commendation because this could not have happened and be done without you. Okay? All right. So today, in keeping with the compatibility of signs, today we are going to talk about incompatibility of signs. And this one is going to take you as a shocker because you would think that this combination really does very well. Oh, baby. Not at all. Not at all. But they can. There are so many factors involved in making sure that this combination becomes a success, that if each of these factors are not put in place, the relationship is going to fail. And that is Leo and Aquarius. So today we're going to talk about Leo and Aquarius. Okay? And we're going to have fun because, Leo is the sex symbol of the zodiac. And he has to have the best shades, the best, newspaper cap, the best, and of course, you gotta have the drink. You gotta have the drink. And it's Friday too. The night is just beginning. So you have to understand that the way I am dressed right now is how the Leo man sees himself in his own inner head, inner psychology. If it's a woman, she is dressed to kill with expensive makeup, lipsticks, and, just ready to slay any man that dares to look her way. Understand that Leo and Aquarius falls under the category incompatibility of signs. Incompatibility of signs. You have fixed fire and fixed air. This is not an elemental square. This is a harmonious aspect between fire and air, right? It's not a square. So they should be getting along. You have the problem, here we go, is with the modality. Fixed and fixed don't go well together. Let's start there first. Fixed and fixed. So that means that, and that goes with any sign of the zodiac that falls under that kind of fixity, with another person of another sign that falls within that fixity. It doesn't even matter about the elemental harmonious aspect. I mean, it does as a final signature. But when you see that something looks harmonious and it actually isn't, there is usually an explanation for that. In this case, in dealing with Leo and Aquarius, it is the fixity. It's like 2 magnets that oppose each other. You need a positive charge and a negative charge so they can attract. Well, Leo and Aquarius represent a negative charge and a negative charge, or a positive charge and a positive charge. And they're going to repel each other. We've learned this in algebra and in physics. When you have a positive and a negative, they attract. A positive and a positive repel each other. And a negative and a negative ion or charge also repel each other. This is the concept of the modalities: fixity, mutable, and cardinal. Here we have two fixities that don't mesh. So, but that in itself can be very sexy. Understand that when you have two opposing negatives, and if you force them together, even though they don't belong together, you have what's called nuclear fusion, and then that's how we have birth of stars. Look it up. It's in physics and in cosmology, right? So if this combination, if they can withstand that repulsion and they make it work, they can become a star. A fusion will be created in that relationship dynamic. But do you really think that this will happen when the couple is young? No. It might not even happen while they're at their prime. It could happen though at middle age. This combination is beautiful. It really is a shining star. But it happens at the second part of life. So if you are a Leo with an Aquarius, and you don't see light at the end of the tunnel, and things are getting really, really bad, provided that you are above 30 years of age. Because the dynamic is different when we're dealing with young people below age 30. This is one of those combinations where every single factor will play. Even the emotional maturity of the person, both the Leo and the Aquarian. And here is where the problem lies between the two. Neither one of them wants to give in to each other. You also have to understand that Leo and Aquarius represent the subconscious natures of each other. So a Leo, the subconscious nature of a Leo is Aquarius. And the subconscious nature of Aquarius, of course, is Leo. So this is one of these combinations in which you can be fighting each other's shadow. You can be fighting each other's lower nature at its worst, which of course usually occurs when you're much younger. This combination can be explosive when you're that much younger. Oh yes. It might not work out. It might not work out. Now let's jump into the details, because the devil is always in the details. Let's start with the Leo woman. Hail to every Leo woman. I love talking about the Leo woman. She's just amazing. Amazing. Remember, she represents the sun. I have to admit, I'm a little biased because I'm a Virgo, but I have a lot of Leo. My Venus is in Leo. My Jupiter is in Leo. My moon phase is in Leo. I have a lot of Leo, you know, and I cannot say enough about Leo. But understand that Leo is the sign of the narcissist. So yeah, I could have a little narcissistic tendencies in me too, you know. That's why I had to develop theater, where I can express all that energy and all that drama. And this is true of the Leo woman. The Leo woman is drama. She's all drama. You have to understand why. Think of her dramatic episodes as solar flares. The sun emits solar mass ejections or solar flares. It's been doing that for billions of years. But we need that because that's what gives warmth to space, because space is cold. It's cold up there. Thank God for that sun that gives us warmth. Understand how important the Leo woman feels that she is. And the Leo man is worse. Worse. But we'll get to him in part 2. The Leo female, if you see my videos on the Leo woman part 1 and 2, you should go back and re-see that, and then come back to this video. You'll have a holistic understanding of her psychology and what she requires. Even again, if you are dealing with an immature Leo woman, and that could mean in attitude, in emotion, even in her youth, you're dealing with the worst aspect of the narcissism of this woman. Will come so natural. She don't see anything or anyone else but her, and she demands to be treated as she demands to be treated, by the letter, by the detail. she will enforce this unto her men. Otherwise, you're not worthy of any of this. And there is no compromising with the Leo woman. This woman knows her power. She knows what she got. No woman can stand beside her. As much as I love Scorpio women, they fall flat compared to the Leo woman. Aries is a great solar flare, but it sizzles eventually. What stays constant is the sun and the brightness and power and danger and glory and majesty of the sun. Who can top that? What man can top that and be that for the Leo woman? Because the Leo woman requires a man that is all that and a bag of chips. Him coming in and bringing shit to the table. But that's not going to be enough for her. Because he can walk away if he don't like what he sees. So she demands that he like what he sees and that he be appreciative of what he sees, and that he should be so lucky that this woman looked his way, like Miss Scorpio woman, and enough to give him attention so that he can come to her circle, like Miss Pisces. Because if they don't like you, they're going to send the signals, don't get near me. With the Leo woman, if you think you know how to handle the scorching sun and you don't put on a pair of shades and look directly at the sun, it'll burn you to crisp. Your retina will burn. So will your heart if you don't come correct to this woman who requires a lot. And basically, the bulk of her requirements is that you understand her and let her be who she is. As histrionic and as dramatic as she may come, you have to love her in every single dimension that she is. Because she doesn't know how to be anyone else. And I've discussed that in my videos 1 and 2 of the Leo woman. Now let's go into a little more deeper details. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say she's brushing her hair, putting on some nice color, nice perfume, beautiful lip. She's getting dressed. She looks smashing. Even when she's in her downtime, she's smashing. Remember, it's the sun. You cannot strike the sun. The sun will always be the sun. So this woman will look great even if she puts a fucking paper bag on her. She's still gonna radiate. She will turn out that paper bag, let me tell you. So, and she knows this. This is part of the psychology of the narcissist. They know how great they are. They just expect you to know it and to act in accord. And if you don't, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You mean you ain't taking a look at all of this and saying something? What's wrong with you? Oh no, the Leo woman becomes offended. She has to have your attention 24/7 and make accolades to her about her. Don't you come to her every now and then and bring her a little flower or bring her some box of chocolates or surprise her and bring her some flowers, some roses. She loves roses, especially yellow. You have to really get to know this woman. This woman will be dressed like my example, and she'll walk out. And the Aquarian man, so great, cool, let's go. All through the night, the Leo woman is pissed off. Do you know why? I won't be surprised if you didn't know. Just like the Aquarian man, he will get caught off guard. The Aquarian man is not so much into other people's egos and personalities. Remember, this is a man that sees life, family, friends, associates, even those he sleeps with, as all in the same batch. It's all relative to him. So her beauty is no better or lesser than his beauty or some woman down the street who collects garbage for a living or is homeless. He will see the beauty in her soul rather than the beauty in the outer, which is probably not as beautiful because you're a homeless person. You ain't looking your best. Nothing personal. I mean, I've been homeless. But I'm not different. I've always looked my best though. But some people don't have that sense of themselves. Even when I was homeless and I slept in park benches for 2 years, I had a great sense of self. I saw myself as a king sleeping on a bench. Why am I sleeping on a bench? I might have embezzled money. I might have lost money. I might be writing up. Whatever happened, I still wore my jewels and everything, even as a homeless man. And no one dared touch me. See? Because when you have that sense of self, it radiates. And people can feel that and sense that, and they give you respect. Then they give you the royal treatment. But they're not going to give you that treatment if you don't feel that way about yourself. Because it is an energy that radiates. The Leo woman is too full of herself sometimes. And the Aquarian man is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You require a fucking injection of high every day, 24/7. Guess what? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because if you don't supply her with that energy and that constant appraisal, then the sun begins to wane. She becomes insecure, confused. She's not being appraised and acknowledged. She no longer feels beautiful. The day looks cloudy, even though the sun is bright. It is a smack in her face, a form of invalidation to her. You may not meant it. You might not be the type of man that's accustomed to praising a woman 24/7. There are men that shit. You can put on the shit. You know women, you can put in some shit on. A gay man will appreciate what a woman has on than a straight man, because they'll be, oh yeah, okay. And that gets women pissed. I'm glad that straight men today in age are paying more attention. I like that. Straight men are paying more attention than they ever did before. You got to. There's a reason why homosexuality and bisexuality exists in our society, the human society. But that's another video. So the issue is that in this situation with the Leo woman, if you don't give a constant appraisal, she's going to get angry. She's going to get angry. And that's when the dark negative side of Miss Leo comes out. And she becomes histrionic, a bitch, nabby, crabby, complaining, and never happy. And her anger and her bitterness it will give you cancer. Yet the way to control that and flip it is by giving her a compliment. Here is the problem. The Aquarian man is not interested in praising her ego. The Aquarian man feels that he's doing better for her evolution if he doesn't praise her all the time and give in to her lower nature of the ego of needing constant attention. He's trying to teach her by example by not giving her the praise that she wants. It's like a baby with a lollipop. That's how he sees her. As a woman, as a child that throws a tantrum and requires constant narcissistic in. The Aquarian man doesn't want a woman like that, because then he sees her as a child and loses respect for her. The Aquarian man doesn't take the time to analyze and realize that this is the essence of this woman. It's not that she's a child and that she's immature. It's that her soul as a Leo in the scheme of evolution from Aries to Pisces, Leo is number 4. It's still quite young in its evolution. And the Aquarian man, who's almost close to Pisces, close to enlightenment, to Pisces, should know better and should evolve her in accordance to her limitation of her own evolution. But the Aquarian man won't do that. To him, it's a lot of work. Why don't you just grow up? It's almost like he feels that this is something that she can internally change. Mr. Aquarius, newsflash, you can't. You'll destroy her before you'll change her. So if you don't like this type of woman, the best thing you can do is leave her. Let her know why you're leaving her. But leave her just the same, because you're not going to change and you're not going to respect the way that she vibrates and is. To you, it seems silly and immature. If you truly love this woman, you will have to kind of be present, study this woman, and understand that this is the core essence of who she is. And she is supposed to be this way. Of course, you can evolve her, but that takes time, and love is about pain. Remember, I've said that before. If you really love this little woman, you have to evolve her. And Aquarius, you are the great teacher. You could do this if you want to. But you got your shit too. You got your shit too. So, you know, and Aquarians are not really good at admitting their own shit, especially the men. Because if it involves emotions, it's not real. It's relative, because with you, everything is relative until it bites you in the ass and you have no choice but to concede. And this is where you, Mr. Aquarian, can go wrong. There's a part of you that may like the feeling of being in control and mitigating someone that you feel is not emotionally mature to handle their own business. Because when you experience the Aquarian, the Leo woman throwing tantrums like that, you see it as emotional weakness and immaturity. And then you can become a little cruel and then treat her accordingly, not realizing that the emotional essence of who she is exactly that. An essence is not ego and personality like you may think, Aquarius. This is the essence of her soul. If this is what bothers you about her, then her soul nature bothers you. And if that's the case, you have to leave her alone and find another woman that is not as emotionally exposed to the degree that it gives you this kind of discomfort. And then it makes you think that you're dealing with an immature woman. That might not be the case, especially if she's older. If you understand that you have young women that are Leos that act very much the same as women that are in their middle age, and women in their middle age and older that act like teenagers, understand that that's not a choice. It is the essence of who these women are. That's what makes them so irresistible. And they shine and they're like a man and they bring people. You are an Aquarius. You want to be the one to bring people to you. But she does it naturally. You have to work for it. And that there may be a little jealousy going on there. Another situation with this woman that you might perceive as that she might not be as intelligent as you are. And that's another avenue that you can lose respect for her and treat her accordingly. You see? Not knowing and not realizing that she could be just as astute as you are. The only thing is that she's in tune with her feelings. Something that you choose not to be involved in. Don't let me tell it. And of course, this is not true of every Aquarian and of every Leo woman, but this combination as an archetype, because individual results may vary. When I talk about combination of signs, I'll keep in mind that I'm talking about archetypes. You may be a Leo with an Aquarian and might not fit the profile that I'm talking about. It depends a lot in the individual birth chart. It really does. But as a general template, because everybody has to have a reference point to base something on. It may not all fit, but there has to be some basis of truth with these. Otherwise, why do videos about combinations of signs if you don't fit in it? There's a part of you that does. And it may not be the fact that I may disrupt the relationship. It may be other factors. But the fact that these basic psychologies of couples and pairs exist is something that is worth your attention. You know, because coupled with upbringing, family dynamics, the way you were raised and taught, all of that, of course, factors in who you're going to become. But the astrological aspect also does too. Don't discount it. I'm not saying that the astrology is the way to go. Because upbringing and environmental upbringing and family influences, all of that is important. And it does play major roles. They don't play minor roles. They do play major roles. But understand that that's not all that's involved. There's an astrological aspect that we have been taught not to know and not to understand and not to endorse or respect or believe. But as astrologers, we're here to tell you, look at it, because that also plays a factor. And we're done with part 1.